Morning students, as you all know that qualitative analysis is a very important chapter in practical chemistry in class 11th, in class 12th and even in degree level. So what do we do in qualitative analysis? We find the quality of the cation and anion in any salt. Assuming that you do not know anything about cation and anion, let me make it more clear to you that cations are the positively charged ions and anions are the negatively charged ions. Now together they form salt. In the exam, you will be given a salt containing a pair of cation and anion, and you have to run a few chemical tests to find out which cation and which anion is there. Now, the system of testing is so systematic that if you don't follow the system, then you will land up asking your friends or people in the lab what to do and how to do. So, seeing the difficulty of you all students, we have made a chart in which we have very clearly differentiated between the anions which react with dilute H2SO4, that means carbonate, sulfate, sulfide and nitrite, and the anions which react with concentrated sulfuric acid like chloride, bromide, iodide, nitrate, acetate and oxalate, and the anions which do not respond to either dilute H2SO4 or concentrated H2SO4, but they need to be tested with some other reagents because sulfate is already present in H2SO4 also. So sulfate is one and phosphate is another. So these are individual anions for which we use different reagent. Like for this we use barium chloride and for this we use ammonium molybdate. Alright. So without going into the detail of cation analysis now, we will focus on anion analysis at first, because most of the students, they are able to find out the cation just by seeing the color of the salt, but finding out the anions, they confuse and they get less marks in the examination. So we have kept the bottles or the mother jars from where the teachers, they take out salt to prepare sample. You can see that this is barium carbonate containing the carbonate anion. Sodium sulfite salt containing sulfite anion. Sodium sulfide containing sulfide anion. Ammonium nitrate containing nitrate anion. And sodium nitrite containing nitrite anion. Now, this nitrate is in this group, but what I will do is, just to make you understand, I will change its group from dilute sulfuric acid group to concentrated sulfuric acid group. These salts, they respond to concentrated sulfuric acid. And which are those salts? Those salts are nitrate, this is ammonium nitrate, this is ammonium chloride containing chloride anion, this is potassium bromide containing bromide anion, this is potassium iodide containing iodide anion, this is lead nitrate containing nitrate anion. So both of these contains same anion, so I can keep them together. This is ammonium acetate, so acetate anion, and ammonium oxalate containing oxalate anion. These two salts, they do not respond to dilute sulfuric acid and concentrated sulfuric acid. This is ammonium sulfate. Your examiner may ask you that why ammonium sulfate is not tested with dilute or concentrated sulfuric acid. Then you will say that H2SO4 also contains sulfate and sulfate also contains sulfate. So how can we test a particular salt with a reagent which contains the same anion. So this has to be tested without sulfate. And phosphate, it also gives a special test with ammonium molybdate. So we ionize the phosphate salt with nitric acid and then we treat it with ammonium molybdate, and the phosphate ion forms phosphomolybdate giving canary yellow color. We will see each of these now one by one. When carbonate ion is treated with dilute sulfuric acid, then what happens? This is carbonate salt. Say for example, I have got this pinch of salt and I have dilute sulfuric acid here. Very nicely you can observe that if I will add dilute sulfuric acid, then brisk effervescence will take place. Brisk effervescence means bubbles will come out. These bubbles will be of carbon dioxide gas which forms out of the carbonate anion. So you can see the bubbles coming out. These bubbles coming out are of carbon dioxide gas and this is called as brisk effervescence. It does not have any smell. Carbon dioxide gas does not have any smell. For checking the smell of any gas, we should not bring the test tube near to our nose. Rather, we should blow the air above the test tube to smell it. It has no smell, but it can change lime water milky and it can extinguish a burning matchstick because carbon dioxide gas is a poor supporter of combustion. So in this way you can test the presence of carbonate ion. This is not the confirmatory test. This is just the grouping done. For confirmatory test, you will test it with lime water. Lime water will turn milky, or you will bring a burning matchstick. The burning matchstick will get extinguished. That will be its confirmatory test. Next is nitrate. Nitrate salt looks like shiny crystalline solid. Now I expect that when H2SO4 will be added to it, dilute H2SO4 will be added to it, then brown fume should come out. Now since it is not coming out, we have to activate the system. To activate the system, we will warm it. So we have a spirit lamp ready over here. The same you can do with dry heating test also. It will give the same result. can see the brown fumes are coming out now. This brown fume can be seen better. This brown fume can be seen better in white background. This is first. Second thing is the smell of it will be pungent. Yes, it is pungent. So we have done the test for nitrites. It gives a brown pungent fume. This brown color can also be taken out by doing dry heating. Test tube should be dry. Now this I will divide into two parts, because this can be nitrite also and this can be nitrate also. Alright. So if it is in one, I will put dilute sulfuric acid. On the other I will put concentrated sulfuric acid. With dilute sulfuric acid, we saw that the fumes were coming, but they were not that much prominent. But with concentrated sulfuric acid, what happens? Let us see. Take care that you should keep the mouth of the test tube away from your friends and away from you also. Here you will see that the brown fumes which are coming from the mouth of the test tube are more prominent. Now let us see this. Will we get the same prominent brown fume with dilute sulfuric acid? It will take some time for the water to evaporate at first. No. So that much of fume is not coming out with dilute sulfuric acid. So NO3 is not a dilute sulfuric acid group. It is a concentrated sulfuric acid group. One more property you can see, that if I take dry salt of this, if I take a pinch of dry salt and then if I heat it, you will see clear brown fume. See, the brown fumes are clear now. See, the color of the test tube has become brown inside because of the brown fumes. So this is the property of nitrate, not nitrite. So in this way you can differentiate between nitrate and nitrite. If an examiner asks you, you can give this example. That nitrate with dilute sulfuric acid and heat gives brown fume quickly, but nitrite takes lots of time for the same. Now sulfite. This is sulfite salt. and we are starting with dilute sulfuric acid test at first. We expect that SO2 gas should come out when we will put dilute sulfuric acid in this. So if SO2 gas comes out, then if SO2 gas will come out, then burning sulfur like gas, burning sulfur like smell will be there, and brisk effervescence will also be there. So I am putting dilute sulfuric acid in this. See the brisk effervescence. The brisk effervescence is more prominent than the carbonate even. And see, it is becoming soluble. Carbonate was not becoming soluble, but sulfite is becoming soluble in H2SO4. Sulfite is becoming soluble in H2SO4, but carbonate was not becoming soluble in the H2SO4. This is also one difference, and you can clearly make difference between the carbonate and sulfite. The type of smell which I am getting is of burning sulfur. So this test is done. So that is why we will not require to do the concentrated sulfuric acid test for this. Next, I did concentrated sulfuric acid test for nitrite because I picked up the salt from here also and from here also without knowing which was nitrate and which was nitrite. Next is test of chlorides. So for this, sulfide is still remaining. So we will check for sulfide. This is sodium sulfide. It is a very useful salt for preparing H2S gas in the lab instantly. If you don't have Keeps apparatus, then you can prepare H2S gas instantly by taking sodium sulfide and add some water. It will form solution of H2S gas. It is already smelling like rotten egg because sulfur is a very sulfide salts are very weak salt. They can be decomposed very easily. Now what I am finding is dilute sulfuric acid. Here it is. So although I am getting the smell of rotten egg, but since I have written the test, so I am putting it over here. Okay, brisk effervescence with white gas is coming out. Alright, so white we generally write as colorless, and we are getting sulfur like color, yellow color of sulfur, and H2S is formed, and without bringing the H2S near to our nose, we are getting the smell of H2S. We will not smell it from this, we will smell it from a distance, and it will be prominent enough because it is an obnoxious gas. We will not bring it near to our nose. Next is sodium nitrite. I already showed you the difference. You can again see. Nitrate was not showing any test with dilute H2SO4, but nitrite will show its test with dilute H2SO4. I will have to recycle this test tube for this and clean this. When you do dry test, ensure that test tube is dry, but when you are doing dilute H2SO4 test, little bit of wet test tube will also do. I repeat, I have taken sodium nitrite, NO2, NaNO2. Now, to this I will add dilute H2SO4 and I should get brown color and pungent smell. Now see, Nitrite is giving the brown color. Is it visible in the camera, sir? Yes. But nitrate was not giving the same taste with dilute H2SO4. Nitrate will give taste with concentrated H2SO4. Nitrite will give the taste with dilute H2SO4. So in this way you can differentiate between nitrate and nitrite primarily. So we have done all the tests of dilute H2SO4. Now we will do the tests for concentrated H2SO4. So I am keeping the dilute H2SO4 away from me now. I least require this. Now nitrate I had already shown you. Now barium carbonate I have already shown you, it was dilute H2SO4 test. Next, nitrate also I have shown you. Chloride. It is ammonium chloride. Now ammonium chloride with dilute H2SO4 will give a warmth in the solution. Due to that warmth, what will happen? Ammonia gas will separate out from chlorine, and as a result, what will happen? We will get the pungent smell of the chlorine. So we will take concentrated sulfuric acid now. Here it is. See, the brisk effervescence is coming, brisk effervescence of chloride is coming out, and the smell of this is just like the smell which you get in swimming pool. What happens in swimming pool? They put chlorine tablets. So the smell of that chlorine is same as that of what I am getting over here. See, the chloride gases are coming out, and in front of the chloride gas, if I bring ammonium hydroxide, the fumes will become more denser. See, the fumes are becoming more denser, because it is forming ammonium chloride, and ammonium hydroxide is forming sublimable salt of ammonium chloride in the forms of fumes. This was test for chlorides. So for chlorides I have crossed brisk effervescence because I did not do the test. Now I have done the test. So what I will do is I will put a tick mark. Yes, here also brisk effervescence takes place. Alright, so this is the difference between practical and theory. Next, bromide. I will again recycle this test tube, clean it for some time. I have filled up the bromide salt. Next, I have to put concentrated sulfuric acid. Then I am expecting that brisk effervescence will not be there, brown fume will be there, and pungent color will be there. Let us see if our expectation comes to be true or not. Brown fume is coming, yes. See, the bottom of the test tube is becoming brown, and bottom of the test tube is becoming brown because of the brown gas coming out. Brisk effervescence is there, but not that prominent as in case of sulfide, carbonate and chloride. Alright. and yes, it is pungent in smell. All halides are pungent in smell. Chlorides are more pungent, bromides are lesser pungent, and iodides are least pungent. Next is iodide salt. Let us see what happens. First of all, it is becoming brown and then it is becoming violet. And brisk effervescence is also there. So it is first of all it is becoming brown and then it is becoming violet. You will be not able to see it's violet, but I can make it like violet. If I will dilute it, it will become like violet. Alright, so it's still brown. If we get little bit of starch, then I can show the violet color. Starch is there, sir?
which last ऊपर लाल.
Yes. So now I have iodine solution actually. This is starch. This starch is prepared from potato. It is written in this box only. So I have taken starch now. Dilute it. Then put a few drop of this. So it is becoming violet now. Actually, it is becoming so violet that it is looking dark colored, but it is actually violet in color. Now you can see its violet color. See, visible, sir? All right. So we will write violet with starch. Now nitrate we have already seen. With sulfuric acid, brown fume was coming out. Nitrate we had already seen. Acetate. This is ammonium acetate. No sooner I have opened this, I am getting the smell of vinegar, because vinegar also contains acetate. This salt has become wet because it is a deliquescent salt. Meaning of deliquescent salt is the salt which becomes wet by absorbing moisture from the atmosphere. Now we'll put concentrated H2SO4. The crystals of sulfate acetates are becoming soluble slowly, and I am getting vinegar-like smell. More prominent smell if you want to get, you can warm it, you will definitely get more prominent smell. Next, oxalate ion. Oxalate ion when decomposed converts itself into carbon dioxide gas. So it is expected that it should give brisk effervescence, but let us see practically what happens. Alright, I have taken. Now you will see slowly it is forming some bubbles. So these bubbles could be due to the carbon dioxide which is forming. The conversion of oxalate to carbon dioxide gas is a slow process. Alright, so due to that slow process, it is forming it is giving a slow brisk effervescence. Along with that, no smell is there, because carbon dioxide gas will have no smell actually. Alright, brisk effervescence is there, but only a few bubbles are there. Let me warm it a little bit and see what happens. Now see, the brisk effervescence has started. See, it is not boiling. You will see at the bottom the salt is forming the gas. Evaporation is a surface phenomena. If bubbles will form at the surface, you can call it boiling. But if the bubbles are forming at the bottom, that means it is brisk effervescence. So the brisk effervescence is seen in case of when concentrated H2SO4 is filled up and it is warmed a little bit. Why? Because see, concentrated sulfuric acid which we use in the laboratory in these schools are actually not that concentrated. Alright, so little bit of heat we had to give. So after you conduct this test, if you get the test which is positive, then you will write present, or you will write absent. Now this format is not the format which you write in the practical exam. In the practical exam you write anion analysis, experiment, observation, inference, and likewise. This format is designed to suit your learning style. In this way you will be able to understand the property of all the anions together. Because if I will teach you about cation and anion and group separation, anion separation all together, then you will not understand anything. So first of all, learn all the tests and the properties of anions. Then we will go for the cations. Now sulfate, this already contains sulfate. So why should it give any reaction with H2SO4? So with H2SO4 it will give no reaction because H2SO4 also contains sulfate. So we can treat it with barium chloride. We can treat with barium chloride. You will be surprised to see that ammonium sulfate looks like sugar. See, ammonium sulfate just looks like sugar. So all that looks like sugar is not sugary, just like all that glitter is not gold. Urea also looks like sugar. So I have taken ammonium sulfate. I will dilute it. Now see, it is soluble in water. It is not forming precipitate. It is soluble in water. It dissolved completely. A little bit more water I will add, it will get dissolved completely. It is completely soluble. Ammonium sulfate is completely soluble. Now if I will add barium chloride in this barium chloride, alright. This barium chloride has got carbonate in it, as a result of which it is looking little muddled. So I will take the supernatant solution of this. I have that balance, it will not fall. Now I have that barium chloride, this is barium chloride and this is ammonium sulfate. Double displacement reaction will take place and white PPT of barium sulfate will be formed. So this is the test for sulfates. This is the test for sulfates.